Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. Today's video is another mini tea including some of our favorites on this channel like Trisha Paytas getting dissed on a show as well as bashing Ethan on a podcast yet again, also trolling in TikToks as Trisha Paytas does, Dawson McBroom embarrassing himself, Nikita Dragun's questionable rebranding, and more. But before we get into all of the tea, let me plug the Hot Tea Twitter account, where you can keep up with any updates as well as send us stories that you want us to cover. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you know when I post. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment anything you want in the comments down below. Alright, so let's get into the tea. So the first cup of tea is Gabbie Hanna deleting all content on her social media, her YouTube channel, as well as her Instagram and Twitter are empty. I'm not sure if she's rebranding herself or taking a break and whatnot, but a lot of people are actually happy about this. One user said, "Finally, bless our souls. Today is a day to celebrate." Next, we have Shane Dawson removing over 340 million views off of his channel. I gotta wonder what else is out there that he had to get rid of since he removed videos worth 11 million views right when he posted his official comeback 2 weeks ago. Moving on, Dawson McBroom embarrassing himself in front of his daughter and a bunch of 5-year-olds, as well as his whole audience. Basically, what he did was that on his way to taking his daughter to school, he was asking what her friends would think of her dad dropping her off in a Lambo. And the kid was confused. Why is he asking her that? She was like, I don't know, they'll be playing. It just looked so awkward.
It's one of those days, Daddy decides, I'm gonna take Elle to school in a Lambo. I've always wanted to do that. It's one of my dreams.
Friend's gonna say when you pull up in a Lambo at school.
They're gonna be playing.
Oh, they're gonna be playing? So they're not gonna be paying attention to you? No?
Maybe he thought that it would make Elle look cool or, I don't know, popular or something like that, but it's a 5-year-old girl. I don't think anyone at that age really cares about this. And to see her reaction being confused and that she just couldn't care less about this is really showing of the Ace family. It's also just kind of sad to see him trying to make her care about what other people think. It's a child, they don't need to be thinking about being liked because your parents drive nice cars and whatnot.
Hey Sam, look at the kids. Do you guys like Elle's car? Okay, let's...
Usually Ace family fans don't really come for them, but majority of the comments in this video were really confused and saying that Dawson is seeking attention and validation from freaking 5-year-olds, and that's just weird. Here are some of the most liked comments. Why don't y'all just let Elle be a kid? Material things are not forever. Dawson, what are the kids gonna think? Elle, they don't care, they're gonna be playing. Even Elle is like, what the fuck, bruh? Dawson to the kids, do y'all like Elle's car? That's so cringe and disgusting. Seeking validations from a 5-year-old. Not a grown man showing off and flexing materialistic things in front of literal children. I feel bad for his kids, so SMH, such a shame that they're more mature and can read the room better than their parent. And next, let's talk about Nikita Dragun and her weird rebranding. So recently, everything that our unproblematic queen Nikita has posted says R.I.P. Nikita Dragun. She posted a half-hour-long video clickbaiting some tweets with this hashtag, and it's just so confusing. Still not sure what she's trying to do. She's wiped her Instagram and has only one post that uses the same hashtag R.I.P. Nikita. Also, she seems to have new merch saying the same thing. On her Twitter, she posted this saying, I have had many rebirths in my life, physically, professionally, privately. I have found myself, lost myself, then completely fell from knowing myself at all. Life will do that to you. The pursuit of fame, money, and grandeur will do that to you. The beauty in falling and losing yourself is that there's always a choice to get your ass back up and start over, to rebirth yourself. I need to lay to rest an old chapter of my life in order to birth a new one filled with gratitude, humility, and the valuable lessons learned from past mistakes. I have given so much focus to my external transformation, and now it's time to focus on my internal transformation. To pause everything and do the work to take care of myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I am thrilled to step into this new era together. I love you all so much. Thank you for the support. And that YouTube video that we mentioned started off with clips from a 2019 Nikita apology, and then there were clips of her with fans at different events from that year. After that, there's a clip of her now talking about how grateful she is and that she's apologizing for being so dramatic, and then she proceeds to explain the following clip is a PR way of her saying where she is and what's next for her. She talks about being sober for a month, and then she just says she's just being herself, and that's about it. The following clip is her talking about this new chapter of her life. She mentions previous adventures, and now she's in New York for Fashion Week, and the rest is really just a vlog. And the description of the video was also a little cringy, not gonna lie. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to lay to rest a woman with my names. Transsexual, pop star, CEO, bad beat, but to most known as simply Nikita Dragun. May she rest in stunt. R.I.P. 2019 to 2021. Don't forget to breathe fire, my dragon. Comments in that video are brutal. People are saying that she's being really narcissistic and she shouldn't be joking about dying, that nothing really happened to her to be this dramatic, and they're just not happy. Like, yikes. This is a pure mess. From crying to a fashion vlog to being sponsored by Shoe Dazzle, like LMAO, the lack of accountability. The narcissistic toxicity of this person is just unreal. Why she has fans in the first place while being toxic is just incredible. Can't believe people still support her. She's so into herself. She needs to humble herself down. I genuinely think she believes her narcissism is her being a proud trans woman. It is not. It's simply straight up you thinking you're better than everyone else. I feel so sorry for all those trans women out there and transgender people that have to basically be put on and under an umbrella of Nikita Dragun because she thinks that she's the
on top of like all this stress that's happening in your life. It's just like, am I really that awful of a person, you know?
Hi Dragons, what's up? It's Nikita. Welcome back to my channel. This is a new me. Not like actually though, because I haven't technically gotten a new nose job since like my last video. So physically I'm the same, but like inside, like the inside plastic parts of me, like the doll parts have changed.
And lastly, so Trisha Paytas. Yeah, we mentioned her and also in almost every single video, despite Trisha getting cancelled ever since the end of Frenemies and people debunking her lies and stories, she still manages to make questionable content, getting called out more and more. Recently, people have been making TikToks about Trisha getting roasted on an Amazon series called I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's a scene where one of the characters makes a dramatic statement saying, "Don't die or I will have a literal Trisha Paytas breakdown." Well, we know Trisha has millions of followers, but to think that she is that mainstream to be referenced on a show is surprising. Typically, only people who are invested in the YouTube world and influencers would know about Trisha's infamous kitchen floor breakdowns, so it's quite interesting to see that Trisha is mentioned here. Also, a podcast with Trisha that came out back in August just caught our attention. Trisha was featured in the Wolf of Wall Street's podcast. On the episode, the main topics were Trisha's mental health journey, the end of Frenemies, and her OnlyFans.
Like, I don't know what it is. I cannot get it. Like, I just lost my podcast because of a blowout. Like, I had a huge blowout and my podcast was huge and I like lost it because I can't control myself. I'm just like a little hothead or something. I don't know what's wrong with me.
And of course, if you guys have been following Trisha in the past few months, she's gone to several podcasts right after the breakup of Frenemies, to be more specific. And in all of those features, she's talked about the end of the podcast as well as always like bashed Ethan. Majority of the responses to all of those have been negative and criticizing Trisha for trying to twist the truth, you know, by basically putting all the blame on Ethan and her being the victim. We could do a full summary of the podcast if you guys are interested, but it might be a little bit repetitive since, like I said, Trisha's gone to multiple podcasts to talk about the same shit over and over again. We've covered that before, so make sure to check these videos out. The main portion of the podcast we're going to talk about now is when Trisha completely denies making fun of Ethan's Tourette's. She claimed that Ethan knew it was a joke, that on Frenemies everything was on the table when it came to that.
Like, is he really have, or is he just saying that to just be cool?
No,
like, he thinks it's great to be like woke or something.
I think he really has Tourette's.
Okay, well, that's a real problem.
Yeah, of course, but it was the same way, but it was always jokes. He acted like I was doing this out of malice. Same thing with him joking with me. He called me crazy, fat, like STDs, all this stuff like that. Like, we always had that like thing where like everything was just on the table. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just kind of, and I was fine with it too. Like, I was like, yeah, he asked me on camera, like, do you have herpes? Like, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like something, he talked about like sexual assault that I've had and stuff. And it's something that was just always okay because we just both were like, no filter, whatever, you know? know? But once the show ended, it's like, she's anti-Semitic. She made fun of my Tourette's. So now I'm like an ableist and I'm an anti-Semite and I'm like, oh my God. So you did this podcast with me for 9 months thinking all this stuff, which is, it's just so that kind of stuff is what bothers me. I don't care if people are like, kill yourself, fat, all whatever that.
Trisha's point is that Ethan never had an issue, but right after their breakup, he put her on blast, which is absolutely like not true. Anytime Trisha would make a joke about Ethan's Tourette's, he would tell her on the spot that he doesn't feel comfortable with that, or at least he would let her know that it's probably not a good idea to be joking about it. Do you guys remember the episode where Trisha would talk about Tourette's TikToks and then tell Ethan that some of his character is probably because of Tourette's and he wasn't really having it?
Oh, our waiter told us Tourette's TikTok is a big thing right now. I forgot to tell you.
I'm not participating in that.
It's people trying to finish a sentence and they can't do it.
But that's not, I don't have that issue.
But just maybe something with your hand, just put it on TikTok. Maybe write something and see if you can write a word down without doing that.
Come on, I'm not like a fucking like paraplegic.
Other things Ethan would tell Trisha on the spot that he didn't feel comfortable with would be her sexualizing him a lot, her obsession with Jewish people. He's told her multiple times that sometimes her words sound more anti-Semitic rather than appreciative.
But it's not Tourette's. Tourette's is like when you
I have Tourette's syndrome.
No, Tourette's is when you're like, fuck this, isn't that Tourette's? I love having a friend with Tourette's because now I can like have a soapbox or something. All your TikTok should be about having Tourette's and like, you know.
I don't want my whole existence to be defined by the guy with Tourette's.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta like go for a thing that people will feel sorry for you for. Why are they looking at you as like this god? Because you're just as messed up as me. I mean, you got Tourette's, so you got something wrong with your brain
like
too.
OCD.
So your brain is not wired all the way, right?
What? Yes.
It's like blind leading the blind. Like you're not. You
yes,
see
it's
clear.
the blind leading the blind.
And people were roasting her in the comments when the podcast came out, as well as now. Here are some of the comments. Trisha said he never put any money into the show other than the lights and the initial set. Notice how she nonchalantly downplays the large sum of money that Ethan put up for production costs. The same costs that warranted Ethan taking 100% of revenue from the highlights channel. Ethan gave her the option to put up $25,000. She did not, and why does she constantly insinuate that Ethan did not pay the staff bonuses? I just can't with this manipulative troll witch. Trasha really went on 5+ podcasts to badmouth Ethan, but Ethan is sending hate when he responds in 2 podcast episodes of his own. Trisha lies to distort the reality of Frenemies' breakup and goes around badmouthing Ethan, then wonders why she gets hate. And then even Ethan tweeted this: I don't make TikToks anymore. The one I posted tonight was me reacting to a compilation of Trisha making fun of my Tourette's. And they striked me for hate speech against who? Like myself? But the original is still up. 3/4 of my last videos removed. I love TikTok, but
Tourette's. That's like your physical, that's like the bread's version of your hand. Knowing that we're like cool and friends, like it's fun to have someone like Tourette's, just like Moses is like my Middle Eastern. I never had a problem with Tourette's though. So I do think it's kind of cool because it's like fun, we can make Tourette jokes about the bread and stuff.
I mean, you're making all the jokes.
You know, buddy, tweak my nipples.
Oh my god, it sounds like you have actual Tourette's. I know I always bring this up, but it does sound like you have Tourette's when you're screaming like that.
I mean, this is just some shitty ass listicle website.
Crap.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Tourette's are strong
It's
today.
not Tourette's, stop.
It is, because you can't control it. You literally
How
can't
do you
control.
know? You don't know anything.
I know, because you can't stop. I'm like, okay, stop worrying about advertising. Just keep going with that.
Because it's funny. Stop. You're out of line.
Smoke that weed, baby.
Yep.
It's fucking 420.
He has Tourette's?
Yeah, smoke
I
that
don't know
weed,
what
motherfucker.
I think
he definitely has
Yeah,
Tourette's.
Just
fucking
stop. You don't have to
420,
say
baby.
about
Are you
Tourette's.
kidding me? Yeah.
He doesn't have Tourette's.
I'm ready to see those
There's
pussy
something
bars
wrong
on
with him.
Monday.
No one just-
Bang, bang,
Can you just enjoy the video? Why do you need to diagnose his mental illness?
Not low blow. That's like retardation, not to be mean.
Wait, you just called her retarded.
You called Dixie mental retardation, which is like, a lot of people think that's crossing the line.
I have, mental illness. I have some form of retardation in me. I don't think to me, it's not an offensive word. I was just like, oh, there's something off. So I was like, oh, she danced to the N-word in 2020 when it just felt like an off thing.
After I got out of the ER, I didn't know what to do. I felt so crippled, but people love a crippled in bed, so it was fine. It's kind of like fucking a dead person. So now I'm like an ableist.
And while we're on the topic of Trisha, she might deny trolling these days, but you can tell trolling Trish makes an appearance every now and then. A few days ago, Moses posted a TikTok about a day in his life as Trisha Paytas' assistant. In that video, he shows how he wakes Trisha up, gets her celery juice while she waits in the car and locks him out of it. He then shows how he cleans Trisha's cup collection, carrying her packages, helping her get ready and film TikToks. Obviously, they're making fun of people saying Trisha treats Moses as an assistant and that they don't have chemistry and he's only doing all of this because of Trisha's money. Here are some of the comments. It's entirely possible that they meant this as a troll to make a joke out of what people say, but it's totally true. Those two just may be too blind to see it. Trisha totally takes advantage of her power imbalance. He's trolling, but the sad part is half of this is probably true. And lastly on Trisha, she just posted a new Trish Talk video. You know, the skit videos that have some moral to them and are totally not in the style of Darman. The newest Trish video is about a pop star that is being bullied. In the skit, Trisha's character, Barbie Spears, is in no way, shape, or form inspired by Britney Spears. No.
I want you first to be happy for yourself.
I'll be happy once I'm free.
Did you see the headline? Everyone are behind the free Barbie movement. They won't stop until you get your basic human rights back.
I feel like such an animal in a cage.
Well, there's thousands of people behind you.
And because of them, I'll have the strength to go to court tomorrow and stand up for myself.
We know Trisha has been a big fan of Britney for a long time and has tried to imitate her or be like her in a way. In the video, Trisha's character and her fiance talk about how people are judging their relationship and her choices, that people just want the drama and a story to talk about. I don't know about you, but this seems like an attack towards commentary and drama channels. Trisha, I'm taking this very, very personally.
This is so awful. I'm deleting everything.
It's okay. People don't see you as a human. They just want the headline.
Why do people care so much? Like, I'm finally free. I'm finally happy. And it's just crap on Barbie again. Like, what more can I do?
Don't let them win. They just want the riff. They want the drama. They want to see you break, so they have something to talk about again.
At the end of the skit, Trisha talks about how people should let others be happy, that we are all human, no matter regular people or celebrities or influencers, that we all make mistakes and it's okay.
Even if people have failed or made mistakes in their past, everything that happens to us is actually a lesson being learned. We're being taught in the moment. So support your favorite celebrity, your favorite influencer, or just the person next door. Support yourself, support your family, and just trust that they're making the right decision.
Trisha also mentioned that everything that happens is a lesson. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you haven't learned your lesson, Trish, but okay. However, some people are not so pleased with Trisha using the Free Britney movement and Britney's trauma as a way to profit off of. One person commented, "No true fan of Britney would be okay with this. You just made a mockery of what she went through. Shame on you. Why do you love making a mockery of other people's trauma? You are disgusting. Britney's situation isn't a joke. It certainly shouldn't be monopolized on. You went too far. Enough. Stop." People do a lot of disgusting things for content, but trying to profit off of Britney's devastating situation is beyond low. Britney's conservatorship isn't material for a skit. Nothing about it is funny. It can't even be made out to be funny. This poor woman has been a legit prisoner. Real Britney fans would never. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, we talked about yet another Trish Talk video that was resembling Trisha's beef with Gabbie Hanna. Trisha said that skit was inspired by her life and things that have happened to her, but is not an attack on a specific person. It was painfully obvious to see what Trisha was trying to do. So is Trisha trying to get sympathy through making parallels with her and Britney's story, possibly trolling tea and drama channels, or do you think this is way too off and it's not that deep? I don't know. Comment down below. That was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We post new videos every single week. All right, bye-bye.